Officially rolling. Let me do
Island time
Island Time, episode 3.
from.
From what?
It's up there.
Oh, from live from the dugout. Like the SNL stuff.
Fitz's dugout.
The
All
Fitz,
right.
Coach Fitz's dugout. All right. I want to start this off. How have you been?
I've been okay. I'm a little tired. I'm tired and trying to eat a little better, and because I've been having trouble with everything. How are you been?
I've been good. You know what helps with your energy levels?
Yes.
Coke.
Diet Coke.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Coke heads.
Okay.
Rise up. All right.
All right. So
I got a topic.
before you get to the topic, I
Oh.
just want to talk about how you've been.
Oh, yeah.
What's your opinion on karaoke?
Karaoke. Oh. Right time, right place, right intoxication levels. And not only is the crowd, the people that you go with, that brings the vibe. Because I feel like when you go out to karaoke, you not only does your group need to be cool, the people who are also in the karaoke queue needs to be the right energy.
Which feeling is that?
The good feeling.
That's not a good feeling. That's just a feeling. You just said that you feel like it has to be this or that. So is it a good feeling and a bad feeling? Which good feeling is it? Is it joy? Is it happiness? Which those aren't feelings.
I say.
So you think that the people it's not a feeling. It's the people at the bar are the ones that make it. Interesting enough, I went to karaoke recently.
Yeah. So did I. But I
Yeah.
think we found each other randomly there.
Yeah.
We walked in.
I
But
thought for sure that you were going to sing.
no, yeah, I wanted to. You know what my go-to karaoke song is?
Let's hear it.
Sweetest Taboo by Sade.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. That would be good. So interesting enough, before we get to my choices that I thought about doing, which I did not do one, because you didn't do one either. I was expecting you to do one.
Well, okay. Well, continue. What was your choices?
So we'll talk about my choice. Then we'll get to that. We were talking about the people let's talk about the people at the thing. So there was a guy sitting there for like 2 hours by himself, big, tall guy, probably 50, leather jacket, just drinking his beer, didn't say a word the whole time, looked kind of mean,
Yeah.
right? And then 2 hours into it, I think you were gone by that time, he got up and sang U2's One.
Wow. That sounds like a weird energy to bring to the.
It was just different because I was looking at him every once in a while and he just didn't smile, he was just drinking his beer. But he was alone.
Mm-hmm.
So he came to karaoke just to belt out. And then when he's belting out, he's like pointing at people and like digging it. And then he goes and sits back down. Then there's the other girl that was dressed totally goth.
Uh-huh.
You thought she was going to be like screamo metal, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she gets up there and she was singing along to all the different songs. And she was like a totally happy-go-lucky girl. But she was dressed like goth death metal girl.
Well, did she go up and sing?
She did. She sang twice, and she sang like uplifting, nice, poppy songs like One Direction or something. And there she is, looking like she could be at a System of a Down concert, right?
Yeah.
And then there's the guy that gets up there and like just screams. Remember the guy that got up there and screamed like a poppy song?
Yeah.
It was pretty funny.
It was a good time. No, I like that energy more when it's a karaoke at a bar and people are feeling the vibe. But I don't like going to just purely karaoke places where you rent a room and then you have a group. I don't dig that. It's not my style. I don't feel like that's the place I want to be when I have downtime with friends, where it's like, oh, let's all sing together. I feel like you can do karaoke at home if you have a good PA system and like a microphone,
Right, but I definitely think at a bar with alcohol is the way to go.
Oh, absolutely.
So there's two ways to go about the karaoke. One is like singing a fun song that you like. Like to me, getting up there and singing a Van Halen song would be fun, but then I would be getting into it, and since I have a terrible singing voice, I think I'd be kind of foolish. And then there's the just flat out comedy of it, which I know PJ would be like me singing No Doubt's I'm Just a Girl. How awesome would that be, right?
That'd be pretty sick. I know I have anxiety when I go do karaoke to a song that I barely know any of it because I'm just like, okay, I'm singing the wrong levels of what I should be singing. I don't know the song at all. I just feel like I'm embarrassing myself. But it's a song I do know. Then I go ham. Like another karaoke song I do is 1979 by Smashing Pumpkins.
Okay.
That's a good one. That's a fun one. Or the popular Talking Head songs. Sade is one too.
Sade is kind of funny.
She has a beautiful. She might be one of my favorite female singers or singers in general.
But you singing a Sade song is comedy.
I can match it. I can match it.
Right,
You be next time. Next time do karaoke.
But then it's always fun to do something that shocks people, right? Like I told my wife, "Hey, I'm thinking about doing 2 Live Crew, Me So Horny, or maybe 2 Live Crew, Hey, We Want Some Pussy." Like they can get up there.
Hey, we want some pussy.
By the way, totally like the vibe at the beginning was we walked into the bar
Yeah.
and there's 4 9-year-olds there singing. Like,
It was weird to see kids.
I don't want to be in a bar listening to kids.
Mm-hmm.
It's like going to the Christmas party.
Oh yeah.
And then you have to stop for half an hour and watch somebody's 7-year-old do their Irish dance routine for you. And then because they did that, all the other grandchildren who don't go to Irish dance have to do like, and we have to sit
They have to
through
be the
their
polite-
shit.
It's like the boss's kid who comes.
Right.
And is like, everybody, look at my subordinates. Look at my
Right.
child dance and sing.
Yes, like I want no part of that whatsoever.
But
All right, anyway,
it's
my
like
subordinates.
Yeah,
right?
it's like making your subordinates watch your kid do that. And it's like, okay, it's like a fake smile and whatnot.
But it's
So
wasted, and
cringy.
then you have to sit down, and then the kids that have nothing feel left out. So of course, everybody gets a turn,
Yeah,
and if you have a lot of kids there, oh my god, All right.
yeah, it's the worst. But yeah, that was the weird thing. Keep karaoke at a bar to adults.
Yeah.
Exclusively.
Right.
It's very strange, and then you can't be like, who the brought these kids here? You got to be like, you have to put on yeah,
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah. Well, that was besides that. That was our fun karaoke story. More to come.
Segue to the new subject.
All right, so I have some funny stuff. So would you consider yourself a big Breaking Bad fan?
I love Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Would you say have you seen Better Call Saul?
I have.
Yeah. And let me ask you, who is your favorite character?
Mike.
I knew you'd say that. I had a hunch. Now, are you familiar with the pretty popular internet post of the autistic guy that watched Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad, and he's all like, "I want to act like Mike and cured my autism."
Yeah,
Well,
I haven't seen it. No.
well, let me read it out to you because I'm found it about it again because I've known about it, but it resurfaced the other day. And
So he said, "I want to be like Mike and cure my autism." Is that because he thinks Mike has autism, or because he thinks if he acts like Mike, he won't be autistic anymore? Or did he watch Mike and that cured his autism?
Well, let me enlighten you right now. So,
Okay.
in the post, he says, "I think the character of Mike Ehrmantraut from Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul has cured my autism. Ever since I saw him in Breaking Bad at 14 or so, I was always fascinated by him, by his icy attitude and cool demeanor, but mostly by his intelligence. But it was all only in Better Call Saul and the scene where he steals Kettleman's money to Tune Down by Chris Jones, or Joss, that I realized I didn't just like Mike, I wanted to be like Mike. So from then on, not only did I start frowning and acting more stoic and coldly, except to those very close to me, and speaking in small, concise sentences, but I started learning disarming and self-defense, handiwork, and making my own food, obviously pimento sandwiches. I also started wearing more modest clothing, like dark coats, using a Timex Weekender watch, and watching whatever TV he does in the series. My aim now is trying to find a night shift job where I can do crosswords like he does in Better Call Saul. He also made me realize I don't need a woman to live in comfort with myself. I feel more productive, cooler, and healthier ever since I started living like Mike. Maybe you should try it too."
That's interesting.
I think there's some validity in there. I was like, damn, that's
I think
like...
there's some autism in there.
Well, I mean, Yeah, could be the case where you just like get into the thing where you watch like a new thing. It's like that's my personality now.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But what did I thought it was pretty cool. So tell me your thoughts on that.
I think that's very accurate. I think I can also take some notes from that too, where instead of just being annoying and loud and speaking whatever's on my mind, just being speaking in concise sentences, wearing dark coats and more monotone colors, and start being like, yeah, okay, and then more people like me.
Okay, so I have a little challenge for you.
Yeah.
First of all, PJ, if you did that, are you gonna bleep out?
No.
Okay.
I just accepted it.
If you do that, you're gonna freak people out. Which you should kind of do a body camera thing and see, like, you should do it for one family gathering and just see how people act. Because this is what's gonna happen. You're gonna be like, yeah, that's right. And then you're like, PJ, is everything wrong? I'm fine. Or you're just like, or then you got to come up with some sarcastic like comments. Why do you think nothing's wrong with it?
Or it's like someone offered me food. I'm like, there's a bear shit in the woods.
Yeah.
Something like that. No, I feel like if I start acting like that in any family function or group gathering, people are going to be like, are you on like Prozac or Adderall right now?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It'll be classic.
That is, yeah.
It's like when who was the crazy guy on Taxi?
Andy Kaufman.
When he turned into his other character is completely different. But this would be actually PJ. People would be like, hey, PJ. Anyway.
But no, that's why I like Saul the best. Saul's my favorite character in Breaking Bad and his own spinoff.
See, I like Better Call Saul.
Yeah.
But if I were to watch it again, I would just fast forward through all the Saul.
Really?
Just to go to Mike.
Okay, yeah. Well, I mean, they're kind of one and the same. I feel like the Mike subplots, well, like in the earlier seasons, the Mike and Saul's like subplots would intertwine, but more so later on after Gus Fring was introduced, Mike was left to his own devices and more so like attached with Gus Fring's storyline.
It's actually one of the things about Breaking Bad that bothers me so much.
What?
There's no way Walter White gets the better of Mike. It doesn't happen.
You don't think so?
No way.
I think, well, I would give that scene validity to be, set in reality because that was when Mike was acting rash. He was trying to get out of there. He was, just trying to get out of the scene. And then Walt, out of his pettiness and like ego, was just not fed up, and then he wanted to get the best of Mike.
Mike's the one guy that knew whatever was happening with Walter, he knew what he was up to. Even when he went along with it, he knew it was fine. But like the magnets or the train robbery. But there's no way he didn't know if he met up with him there that there was nothing good that was going to come from meeting up. Nothing. He wouldn't have done it. He would have just bolted. So I think that's a flaw in the show whatsoever. And it also pisses me off for one specific reason.
Why is that?
Can't have another spinoff.
Well,
with Mike.
You did. You had Better Call Saul. That was the prequel.
I know. The problem is I wish there was much more Mike in Better Call Saul. I wanted more Mike.
You did. You did have a lot of Mike.
And less Saul. I mean, the remember when he tore apart the car looking for the bug?
Yeah, and the gas cap. I was like, what? That was one of the best. That's a quality that Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul has, to where a character is doing something, you're like, what the fuck are they doing? Like, what is going on here? And then you stick with it for 5 minutes, and then like when the reveal comes, like, oh, that's awesome.
I mean, that was the entire episode, if I remember correctly. But
pretty much, wasn't that the one where Mike was going to assassinate
right,
the uncle,
yes,
and then Gus put the stick, and he's like, don't. And then the next
then he's like, how the hell did he know?
Yeah,
who's been following me? And then he went from there.
That was sick. But
so back to Autism Boy.
That's me. No, I wanted to. I have another topic I wanted to bring up. So, are you aware with the Pitchfork YouTube channel?
No.
So that's like a music thing. But they have a video series called Overrated Underrated. It's where, the person is given a list of topics to say what's over, like such and such is overrated or underrated, and they explain
Okay.
why. And I wrote down a list of items that I
You
would
want
want,
me to overrate or underrate?
yeah,
Okay.
and explain why as well.
I wish, and are you going to do that? You going to come back with your opinion of overrated, underrated on these same
If
topics?
it's strong enough for me to interject, then yeah.
Okay.
All right.
But if you agree with me, then we're just going to move
Then we're
on.
gravy. We're in utopia right
All
now.
right, here we go.
All right.
Utopia.
Mm-hmm.
Good use of that word.
Yeah, it is. It's a good album too. All right.
By? Who's it by?
Insert here. All right. Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
All right. Trucker hats.
Overrated.
Why?
I hate trucker hats.
Why?
Oh my god. Okay, so first of all, trucker hats came out. People wearing trucker hats in the 60s and 70s, and they're just god awful. But the whole reason they wear them is because the snapback, so it can fit everybody, which snapback are just cheap. And then the air and the thing, so that the truckers don't sweat too much, right? Because they can't wear a baseball fitted cap. And back in the 60s, it's either snapback or it's a baseball hat, right? Now they have flex fit and all these different types of hats. Trucker hats are, right now, people are wearing them for fashion.
Yeah.
And it's just, I think it's like anything else. You run out of stuff to do, so you go back to something from before and make it new again. I hate trucker hats. They're not comfortable. Snapbacks are not comfortable. They're not. Plastic insert in the back. I mean, get a flex fit hat. Like, I'm okay with a trucker hat that's a flex fit, like trucker look with the flex fit. But the snapback hat, they're cheaply made. They're cheap as hell. So no, I don't like the material it's made of. What's even worse are the snapback hats with like the puffy front part, like where it's puffy, or they have the little rope that goes.
You don't like the rope?
No, and the NFL this year put the rope on their hats. I'm like, what the hell are they doing? It's like all they try to do. Okay, so I got a little story. We're gonna go segue.
The passion.
We're gonna go on a tangent here.
Okay.
It's like Nike. We met with Nike a few years ago, my company, about baseball pants, right? So, or baseball uniforms. And all Nike does is they say, oh, what if we put like a mesh insert here and a mesh insert there? And it's like, makes them less functional. It rips easier, makes them cheaper, but it looks different and modern. So we're like, it's a baseball pant. They're for baseball, like to slide in into. Yeah, not to make a fashion statement. They make these things and people wear them because it's Nike and they can, hey, we're different from other people, so charge more. It's like Supreme. Like they buy these cheap ass hoodies, put Supreme on it, and only put 20 of them for sale, and they spend $100 on them, and they're worth like $10. But because I don't know.
Well,
so
obviously you haven't seen the Supreme bricks.
Evidently not. So I get it. It's a brick that says Supreme on it.
It is a brick that says Supreme and crowbars.
And how much do they sell them for?
Probably like 100.
So the trucker, like that little rope in front of the hat, it's the dumbest thing ever. But the NFL did it this year. Why? Well, we haven't.
They did. I've noticed the coaches.
We haven't done it for 30 years, so let's put a rope on there. We'll bring it back. It's just terrible. So I think it's overrated.
Yeah, overrated.
What about you?
I don't mind a trucker hat if you have a good point though. Like if it's a fitted trucker hat, that is a statement that it's it is more fashionable and it's more like, okay, this is mine. I'm not just gonna gift it to somebody and then they can also adjust it to their head. It's more of a flex to have a fitted trucker hat. I like the look when it's the front is more molded rather than, but I
like the curve on there.
Sometimes I like the curve. I mean, I like the curve more than the flat bill.
Right.
But I prefer trucker hats more than like the dad hat.
Okay, what's the dad hat?
It's like just like a normal cap.
Okay.
Yeah, like that. I think those I'm like, okay, get rid of the dad hats. I like the fitted hats more, or like I don't know what you call it. You obviously know more than me about the topic, but I'm going off trucker hats. I like them, but I agree they are overrated to a degree.
Yeah, I will only wear a flex fit trucker hat, and the only reason I'll wear it is because if the front's plain, like I don't like the mesh back. It's got to be like I don't mind like in the back if it's like black in front, white in back. Okay, that's cool, but I don't want the trucker hats are made of like plastic mesh.
It's
like
all plastic,
really
yeah.
cheap. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
All right. Brunch.
Brunch?
Yeah. Oh man, this is a thinker.
Yeah. I mean, do I have to go over or under?
Yeah, there's no in between.
I'm going.
Or I mean, I guess there's perfectly rated, but
Well, most people don't do brunch, so I'm going underrated. But see, the thing is, when I go to brunch, I'm all breakfast food.
okay.
But on Saturday, Sunday, yesterday, I sleep in till 10, 11 o'clock. So if it's 11 and I'm going out to eat, I'm not eating breakfast. I'm eating brunch, right? But I'm going breakfast. The reason I like brunch is because they serve breakfast,
They serve breakfast food
food
still,
at the brunch. I'm not going to not eat until 11 and then have a hamburger. Like I'm going to want eggs or omelet or French toast or whatever.
Or a skillet plate
Skillet plate, something
plate's
like
the
that.
best.
Of course, with
with the Diet Coke.
the Diet Coke.
Cheers.
Yeah. Is that Coke Zero?
Yeah, it
is
is.
Coke Zero. We talked about this.
I'm the zero, you're the diet.
That's right. So I go brunch underrated because not many people serve brunch. It's hard to find the brunch, and but the places that do, champagne, usually all you can eat. That's always good. Not always good. All you can eat, not always good. All you can eat is overrated. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's a buffets are overrated. Champagne, all you can drink, mimosas, I should say. That's a. It needs to be the right vibe in order to take advantage of it. But I like brunch, but I feel like what word am I looking for? I feel like the idea of brunch is overrated to where everyone's like, oh, brunch with my besties on a Sunday. It's like, oh, we're all. I feel like every time I've seen an overwhelming amount of people who publicize, hey, we're going brunch. Oh, it's brunch. Oh my God, we're so quirky. I feel like that attitude towards it, just you're having a meal, chill out. But
right.
Anyway.
Well, that makes sense because you're going from the social aspect, and I don't look at Instagram, so I could care. I was looking from the food point, like, hey, it's 12 o'clock and I can still have some pancakes. That's a good thing,
But morning drinking, very underrated. DoorDash and Grubhub.
Overrated, man.
I agree. Yeah.
I mean, I think that.
Whoa, that was a good one.
Wow.
Damn.
I think that with how expensive things are, it's already a rip. Food that you're going to buy out is already a ripoff, and then you're going to add what 10% to it to pay for it to get delivered.
Not even. I feel like 20%.
Yeah,
with
ridiculous.
tip too.
Yeah, so you're already overpaying. So basically, if you get Grubhub 5 times, you just missed a meal.
Yeah.
Right? That's just not smart, especially if you're young. Like, I think for me, once in a while, like I can afford it. I don't know. I'd rather. I look at money it's definitely a money thing. It's very convenient.
I think it's so not limiting, but I don't like the aspect of Grubhub to where you just have the access like, oh, the food's gonna give them to me. Okay, no, just take the excuse to go somewhere, deal with it. You save $25 from an expense that you're just gonna get by driving 5 minutes.
100%.
Or walking.
Well, here's the other thing. I've gotten it a couple times. Like the Ram game's on. Okay. I want to eat. I got no food in the house. I'll get a breakfast, right? Or brunch. And the food's not as good. Because how long has it been sitting before the driver picked it up? And then the transfer over. Like some foods, like pizza, it'll keep.
Yeah.
Eggs, hamburger, like fries. Cold, come on. Then I got a microwave. I got an oven. The whole convenience of it just left the window.
The time you take to reheat and prep it will be the equivalent of just getting your food.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's way overrated.
I agree. I agree with you heavily. Okay, John Malkovich.
Overrated.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not a big Malky guy.
I love him. He's great. He's an American sweetheart.
I like John Malkovich. He's done a few good movies, but I mean, he's a very good actor.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't name a lot of movies that I like him that he's in.
Not
He's a
even
great actor.
being John Malkovich.
Like I said, I mean, that was a...
Rounders.
Oh, he was great in Rounders.
Con Air.
It's a terrible movie.
Why?
I mean, I enjoyed it the first time I saw it. I'll never rewatch it, right? I mean, being John Malkovich is a good example of a interesting, thoughtful movie, but it's not something I'm ever going to watch more than once.
Really?
Yeah, and even when I watch it, it's fine. It's interesting. It's different. But I mean, that brings to a movie. I mean, movies we could talk forever about. Movies like that. But yeah, overrated. You disagree. You love the John.
I think he's great. I think he's one of those actors who can keep it composed, keep it simple, but he can also belt out. He can just like let these inner animal out and just go crazy. I feel like those performances are very. I mean, that's what most people know him for, but he's also like a classically trained actor. He's done Shakespeare, all of that. I think he's a well-rounded actor he's low-key, even though his name's like a meme, like on the internet and whatnot, but still, I think and also being that movie Red, I'm going to get into a tangent, but where, like Bruce Willis and Morgan Freeman and all that, but yeah, no. I think he's great.
He's great. I just don't like most of his movies. Like Red, I would never see that movie. It's an action comedy.
That's a dad movie. That's a dad movie.
And I would not want to see it, and I'm a dad.
Yeah, my dad would disagree. All right. Mustaches.
I mean, it depends on the time, right? Like currently.
Yeah.
Currently overrated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
But 15 years ago, underrated because no one had any. Right, so
15 years ago,
yeah.
2010. No, the millennials were going crazy with
maybe
mustaches.
It was the 90s then.
I think 90s it wasn't cool.
No,
but now anyone has a mustache.
Yeah,
like especially kids in college and whatnot. I'd be going on my friends' posts, and they're like younger brother who's in school, all like 10 dudes who are just like doing like. With each other, all mustaches, all bad mustaches, I should say. You know, like puberty mustaches. And I'm like, that guy made me reevaluate my mustache.
I mean, I had a mustache. I mean, I've had a beard with the mustache. Most of my life, it's been combo beard, goatee. I've done a lot of goatee, no mustache, which I liked, which was unique, like right there.
Oh yeah,
yeah. But I had a mustache one time, and it was when I was really young. I had a job interview, and I wanted to look older. So and it did. It made me look a lot older. But that's the only time I ever had it.
Flawless.
But what I don't understand is why really good-looking men wear mustaches, because they look way better without it.
I think it's an accent piece.
I know, but if you're really good-looking, like you look better. Clean shaven for sure.
I'm just saying it's an accent piece, as it's like an SAT question. Painted nails and earrings for girls is mustaches for guys.
Yeah, but the painted nails don't take away from the look of the face. And neither do the earrings. I mean, if you got...
Or makeup, or like excessive makeup, or style.
Excessive makeup for sure will take away from that. I get it. But I see, like... There's some people that I know, like people. I'm not a big judge of a good-looking guy, but someone like Ryan.
Oh, really? Don't be so modest.
Ryan Gosling doesn't. He doesn't wear facial hair for the most part, or who's the guy? Ryan
Reynolds.
Doesn't.
Yeah, I don't ever think I've seen him with a mustache.
Yeah, because why would you? Because you have this face that every girl dies for. So why wear a mustache? Right?
It's kind of like mustaches are interpreted to be stylish, one, and also it's like post-ironic as well.
Right.
It's like, oh, I have a mustache. Isn't that funny? But also, I look good in this.
Well, I think just like tattoos, at times people put facial hair on or other stuff because they're posers, not doing it because like it's like comfortable or like, hey, sometimes they're hiding something or whatever. Some people are wearing them because, hey, I wear a mustache. Like
That's your
there's this
vibe.
guy, one of the most famous mustaches I've ever heard of is a guy named Raleigh Fingers. Good name.
That's an awesome name.
I know. So he was a relief pitcher for the A's in the 1970s and 80s. And the whole team in like 1974 grew mustaches.
Uh-huh.
And back then in Major League Baseball, most teams didn't allow you to have facial hair. And so they all grew mustaches waiting for the owner to tell them to shave. And the owner said, oh, I love it. I love it. And then Raleigh Fingers, who had never had a mustache before, he was like 25, 26, decided to curl up so he had the thing.
That like the
and he's never shaved it from that day till now. And he's in his 70s, right? He still has the mustache and he still has the thing. It became his thing.
Oh.
Totally by accident. And if the owner had said, you guys need to shave, they would have been like, okay, we'll shave. Because it was a team rule back then. Like everybody. The Yankees still have it. The Yankees play for the Yankees can't have facial hair.
Really?
Yeah. The Dodgers did that until they traded and the Dodgers made you cut your hair until they traded for Manny Ramirez. And then the backboneless Dodgers let him keep his hair, and from then on it didn't matter. But
I didn't know that.
yeah.
All right. Well, that's a topic for another day we can get more into, but we got some more stuff.
Overrated, underrated.
Yeah. Here's an interesting one I thought on the way over here. That when people use the condescending term sports ball.
I don't know that.
Have you never heard of that before?
No.
So like, people who like aren't into sports, like when they talk to people who are into sports, they go like, "Oh, how's your sports ball doing?"
Oh, so they're making fun of people who like sports.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, I would say that's
overrated.
That's just fucked up.
That's stupid. That's just stupid. I agree. Okay, what about sports mascots?
Oh, overrated.
Yeah.
Most of them are awful. And don't do the job. Like now, see, sports mascots is kind of like cheerleaders too, right?
Yeah.
So cheerleaders became a thing. Like in the NBA, there were no cheerleaders. And then the Lakers in the 1980 got the Laker girls, and all of a sudden, everybody loved them because they were hot and they were then they were entertaining. And then now everybody has them, right?
Yeah.
Same with the mascot. There's a couple great mascots. Like for example, the Philly Fanatic is the best mascot. If you've ever seen the Philly Fanatic, if you've been to a Philly game, which I have, the Philly Fanatic is fun, creative, does a lot of cool things.
Just the weird design.
Yeah.
Like how the fuck?
And then he's got the beak, and then the tongue comes out.
Yeah.
Right? But he'll be on the dugout, and the other team's like hitting, and he'll be on the dugout, and he'll be like, when the pitch is coming, like to zap
awesome.
that. Like he's really funny.
Yeah.
And he does fun stuff, and he's like good with the kids, but he doesn't just go around like being goofy. Like he grabs good looking girls and like puts them under his shirt. He does
fun stuff, bits.
Exactly. He does bits. Like he'll drive around the stadium in an ATV, and he'll make fun of the other coaches, and he does good stuff. But then the other ones are just like walk around the stadium and like
just be there just to I agree. I mean, you think about it, like none of the LA teams, none of them have mascots.
Thank God.
No Dodgers, no Lakers, no Kings, no Galaxy or LAFC. And
what's Galaxy LFC? Is that soccer?
Yeah, soccer.
That doesn't count. All right, keep going.
Okay.
No. I mean, keep going with the.
Oh, I mean, I can't think of anything else. Am I missing any?
I think the Chargers have one, but they're not really an LA team. They're from San Diego.
Well, I guess the Rams have one too.
I haven't seen him. That's right. I've seen him at some stuff.
He was funny. I remember I worked security for the Rams for the training camp in Irvine when they did UCI, and then the mascot came up to me. That's when I had a Raleigh Fingers mustache where you feel, and he just went up to me. He's like, "Oh," I don't know if he was making fun of me or he was admiring it. But I got a few people shit talking my mustache, my Raleigh Fingers mustache at the time when I had that. But
that's great.
But yeah, I guess that's the only one for like LA. Really, like true LA based.
Yeah, the Dodgers definitely don't have one. Neither the Angels, which is good. And the Lakers don't have one. So.
Yeah, I agree. All right, small talk.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not a big small talker. Overrated.
Yeah, especially when you're at like a dinner party with an acquaintance. Like if you're 1 degree removed from said dinner party, to where it's either your friend that brings you to dinner party with a bunch of new people, and then you're forced to make small talk with people you never met before, and then you just go to the surface level top of conversation. That's mostly what I'm getting at here.
Yeah, it's I'm the type of person that if you ask how you doing, I tell you the truth.
I feel like that gets down to the bare bones. That's a more interesting conversation.
I mean, but most people, how you doing? Fine, good. Oh, I'm great, having a great day. Fucking but then there's
Yeah.
some people I just don't want to talk to, so and those people I'll just be like, yeah, I'm great.
Do you
You
know?
know?
You know what was one of my good icebreakers when I was in college? Was like, hey, what's your biggest insecurity? That's a good one. You get some people actually like pour their heart and soul out. It's like, wow, okay, interesting. You get to medium conversation instead of small talk.
That's great.
Yeah, I like that. But yeah, I agree with you. Small talk's overrated. What about appetizers?
Oh, underrated.
You think?
I love appetizers, yeah.
Like as restaurants?
I love appetizers, yeah. I mean, there's some that are not good, but like I'm usually so some people get appetizers and some people don't. I'm assuming that's what you meant.
Yeah.
I'm definitely underrated. Like I like getting sometimes the appetizer is the best food
Is
on
there
the menu.
is there a standout place or establishment you think is an essential for appetizers?
No, I think that there's some places that appetizers are terrible, but I mean some pieces have great buffalo wings, and buffalo wings are one of my favorite foods. Some places have terrible buffalo wings. Some people, and we can get on an app. That's a separate issue, but
I'm down to talk about that next episode.
yeah, I mean, I think we talk about like, but there's different places, and good restaurants have good appetizers. If a restaurant doesn't have good appetizers, they're probably not a good restaurant.
I agree. I mean, as much as care they put into the entrees, I feel like they need to put in their appetizers in order to show the quality.
Absolutely, because yeah, that's no doubt.
But I mean, for me, I mostly put all my attention towards the entree. I'm like, okay, I don't want to fill up on appetizers unless it's like sushi, where I feel like it's necessary to get some appetizers before a sushi meal.
It's true, or you just sushi is the appetizer and the meal. I mean,
That's true.
sushi, just eat sushi. Like, but I get you with the soup and the
Yeah.
edamame. But some places will go and I'll get sushi as the appetizer. Like if we go to Tepon, I'll get sushi for an appetizer and then get the other stuff. But it depends on what kind of meal you're gonna have. Sometimes I'll go all appetizers for the entire meal.
Yeah.
We'll get like three or
variety.
4 appetizers. Yeah. Or sometimes like my wife and I will get an appetizer and then we'll share the entree.
Yeah. I mean, it's better with more people who are like, oh, let's all try this thing together rather than you yourself and whatnot. But yeah, I think it's I don't know. It's a right place, right time situation for me for appetizers. And I think that's all that I got really. But I have another topic, and then we'll go into the main most into subject, and then we'll close out. I wanted to ask.
Thanks for the rundown for our viewers.
Yeah. So you know what? It's good to keep people informed.
It is.
I wanted to ask you. So, a while back I saw YouTube short where it was someone being interviewed and talking about Kobe Bryant and what his post game routine was, and they said that he would listen to the Halloween theme song before games. Have you heard of this? Are you aware of this?
No.
Have you heard of this? Have you heard of this?
Yeah.
And I sent that. I was like, that's so weird. So I sent it to a family group chat with my mom, my dad, and my sister. And then my sister's like, oh yeah, sometimes you gotta get in the mode. I'm like, all right, that's kind of weird. And then I sent it to my friend, and he's all like, yo, yeah, you gotta get in that energy. And then he's like, what? Is this a common thing? Like, why does everyone think it's so normal?
I think everybody, it's to each his own.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't.
He would say that he would listen to it to get in that killer mentality.
Yeah, I whatever.
Whatever.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, maybe it just he loved that music. Maybe that's just he loved that music.
It is literally just one like ding 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 ding.
Yeah, it's
ding,
like
ding,
5
ding.
notes over and over and over again. Yeah, I know. It's great.
But for like I'm gonna fucking.
But how long are you listening to? Are you listening for a minute? Are
Mm-hmm.
you listening to it for 10 minutes? Like, I mean, puts you in a trance, I would think. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just something he liked. But is there other things to that Kobe Bryant thing, or is that all?
That's all of it. I just thought it was weird how the two people I've talked to who are on very different ends of experiences both thought it was pretty normal thing to do.
Yeah, I mean, people talk themselves into things. Like Kobe's great, and he had a lot of really good. His mindset was really good, and there's a lot of things I love about him. But just because he was great doesn't mean all the things he did were the reason he was successful. The fact is that the reason he was really successful is because he was extremely talented and worked really hard. And he was mentally tough. But the mental toughness comes from your preparation. That's where mental toughness comes from. Your preparation and your belief in yourself. So I don't think he needed to get psyched up for games, but if he says he did it that way, then that's just his way of talking himself into getting psyched up. But I'm pretty sure as soon as the game was on, he was, no matter what he did before the game, he was going to be ready to play. So
Yeah, either one way or another. Do you
Yeah.
know why the Los Angeles Lakers are called the Lakers?
Well, they're from Minneapolis,
Uh-huh.
and that's the 10,000 lakes. Thus, they're called the Lakers.
Pretty interesting fun fact, huh?
Yeah.
You wonder why
Did you know?
you must wonder why the Clippers are called the Clippers.
They're called the Clippers because they were in San Diego, and San Diego's a Clipper ship, and they were like because San Diego's a bunch of harbors and a lot of ships in the Navy, so they just decided to do a Clipper ship.
Wow.
And they moved to Los Angeles. Did you not know about the Lakers?
I knew about the Lakers, but isn't it a fun fact? I did not know about the Clippers.
It's a terrible name.
Classic LA move to just take teams and keep their names when it has no relation to.
What about the Dodgers?
Dodgers? Well, they're Boston. I don't know why the Boston.
Not the Boston.
Or Brooklyn Dodgers.
Brooklyn.
Sorry. I'm
So they were the
being city.
Brooklyn Trolley Dodgers because to get around Brooklyn, you had to dodge the trolleys. And then they just changed it from Trolley Dodgers to Dodgers, and then they moved to the West Coast, and they were the Dodgers. Now, there is a reason why you keep the name. For the Lakers and the Dodgers, they were big brand names. So you wouldn't want to change them.
Yeah.
You'd want to keep the name.
Well, LA's staying very original. I'll say that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we are going to close it off with this subject. So we thought it'd be fun. We don't know if we're going to do it every week or, keep on going, but we're going to choose. You have an album in mind and I have an album in mind. You'll have to listen to it by the time this recording and then next recording. Let me know your thoughts. And then I'll give you an album, vice versa. And what is the album that you would like me to listen to?
Well, before I give you the album, I kind of want to know what kind of music do you listen to in general?
I think you'll find out by what music.
Do you like? Well, let's talk about it for a second.
What kind of music do I listen to?
Yeah.
It's all over the map. I find myself. I thought the idea, and I thought to myself, I don't really listen to a lot of like albums front to back unless it's an artist that I really like, and then I'm gonna give it its time and day. But I mean, I like house, I like gabber, I like breakcore, I like hip hop, I like R&B, I like jazz, I like indie, I like a lot of goth wave, vaporwave, post punk. A lot over the map. I feel like the one I can't think of. I mean, they're genres I don't like, but you can't say blatant I don't like said genre. But
Okay, so you just named maybe 10 genres, and 6 of them I've never heard of.
okay,
So that's a problem, right? So I, of course, listen to. What do you think I listen to?
British pop.
No,
Robbie Williams.
I don't even know what that is. All right.
See ya.
So, like, it's Van Halen. That's my Van Halen.
In the dugout.
In the dugout. That's right. So I'm a big hard. I mean, we got the Van Halen.
And we got a Van
there.
Halen
We'll have to
poster.
show that later. I'm a big Van Halen. I'm a hard rock, borderline heavy metal guy. Not screamo. I would never listen to screamo metal. It's
Heavy metal.
heavy metal.
Which one? Iron? Boom!
That was good. So I like hard rock. However, the album that I'm going to recommend to you is by my favorite band. They took over Van Halen as my favorite band about 15 years ago. And they're called Alter Bridge.
Rock and roll.
All right.
Not Tremonti?
No, Tremonti is the guitarist for Alter Bridge.
Solo project.
Yeah. So Tremonti's his solo project. Alter Bridge is his main band. His original band was a pretty famous band called Creed. But I think Alter Bridge is a much better band than Creed. I like Creed. I love Alter Bridge. So their second album, I think, is not my favorite album, but it's my favorite album for you to listen to.
Oh, wow.
And the album's called Blackbird.
Blackbird.
Now, of the 13 songs on the album, I like 11 of the 13. It's a really good album front to back. A couple of the songs, when I first heard them, I didn't like them. It took a couple listens. A couple songs are amazing. The song that the album's named after, called Blackbird, I want you to remember that it's their Stairway to Heaven. It's a longer song, 6 to 7 minutes. And it's about the lead singer's friend that died when he was younger. And he wrote this song about him. And it's a very emotional song. A lot of people... the lyrics on it are fantastic. But there's a couple other songs. My favorite song on the album's called Before Tomorrow Comes. And there's a melody song late in it that's like an acoustic song that's a little hard rocking. So Blackbird is the name of the album by Alter Bridge.
Okay. Can't wait to give it a listen.
All right. And what genre of music, are you trying to find...
I'm not trying to scare you.
Okay.
One, there's a lot of options I have out there that is just it's like the memes where, you show someone that's a crazy, like a Victorian child, the music, and then they start freaking brain exploding. But no, I kept it respectful. Okay. It's a more like shoegaze, like post-punk kind of album called the band is called Drab Majesty. Have you heard of it?
No.
All right. The album is called The Demonstration. And a lot of it is very melodic. There's a lot of synth going on. And what it ultimately is do you remember the Heaven's Gate Massacre? Yeah. So a lot of that whole album is taking inspiration from the act itself, the people who are affected by it, kind of having that like mindset to where you'll be brought into the higher realm of thinking, because that's what the album's called, The Demonstration. Them committing those suicides was called The Demonstration, to be transported into a higher plane of existence. That's what that's what the original cult thought, and that is what the album kind of explores. One of my favorite songs on the album is 39 by Design, which is talking about, what the aspirations were to transcend the human body. And then the following song was what the aspiration for doing such thing was. It's a very beautiful album. I've cried listening to it. It's gorgeous. It's amazing. It's an album that I visited ever since I heard it, like back in 2018 or so. And
so it's a concept album from beginning to end.
Yes.
And you said it takes inspiration from, but it's not
condoning, but it's like reflecting of what it's more of like
what these people,
eulogizing these people.
Got.
Yeah. So that's The Demonstration by Drab Majesty.
The Demonstration by Drab.
Yeah, Drab Majesty. Correct.
Okay. Post-punk,
shoegaze. Yeah, a lot of pedal work. You know what I'm talking about?
Pedal work on the guitar.
Yeah. A lot of synth as well.
Synth. Doesn't sound punkish.
But it's
not a lot of synth in the punk.
But that's what post-punk is. Like, The Cure and Joy Division and The Smiths.
The Cure post-punk?
Yeah, it's post-punk.
All right. So are they shoegaze as well? Is the Cure shoegaze?
They inspired shoegaze.
Got it.
Yeah.
Just so you know, the Smiths and the Cure, not a fan.
No?
No.
Why not? Cure's great.
Not my thing, but I'm hoping that I'll like the demonstration more than I like the Cure and the Smiths.
There's more. Okay, yeah. Keep in mind that it was inspired by the Cult, and
Right, I got it.
It's for those people.
Not the band, The Cult.
No, not the Cult. Not Blue Oyster Cult.
Or The Cult.
Yeah, or the Cult.
Yeah.
But all right, Blackbird by Alter Bridge and the demonstration by Drab Majesty. All right. I'm looking forward to the next episode.
I am as well.
All right, now it's time to do our sign-offs. This is political journalism
From Fitz's
Dugout live. You want to give your sign-off?
Yeah, peace out.
All right, peace out, everybody. Episode 3 in the bag.